Welcome back. According to the CDC, more than 3 million people in the U.S. suffer from epilepsy, and more than 100,000 of them are here in Michigan. The disorder can make it very hard to live a normal life, but there are treatments that can help make it manageable. So joining us today is Susan Wagner, a Westland native who suffers from epilepsy. Thanks for joining me today.
You're very welcome.
So before we talk about the treatment that's really helping you out, what's your experience been? When were you diagnosed?
I was diagnosed when I was 4 1/2,
Okay.
so it's been a very, very long ride.
Yeah, pretty much your entire life.
Pretty much my entire life. I don't remember a time before epilepsy. So that's the two distinct ends you'll find with people with epilepsy. Is you'll have that end where it's kids like me who were diagnosed young, and it's basically part of them because that's all they know. And then you have the other end where they're diagnosed older and they have that before epilepsy, after epilepsy. And it's a very distinct difference in life. They actually remember when they could do things, and it was a big change to their entire being.
Yeah. What was that like for you growing up as a child with epilepsy, and how is it different now as an adult?
You were that weird kid that took pills. You were that weird kid who you were never going to get the perfect attendance award because you had to go to the hospital every couple months and get EEGs and MRIs and blood tests. And you couldn't spell elephant, but you could pronounce electroencephalograph.
Sure.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, a lot of medical jargon.
Yeah, exactly. At 8 years old, every kid can do that.
Yeah.
You have a different perspective in life, definitely.
Sure.
And you know your way around hospitals, but you were also that weird kid that had kind of you did things differently than everyone else.
And now that you're an adult, I mean, a lot of people know epilepsy has to do with seizures, but people might not know the ins and outs and how it really affects your life day to day.
Yeah, so one thing they see the seizure and they think, that's it. The seizure is the easy part.
Easy part.
That's the easy part. You have the seizure, you're done.
What's the hard part?
The hard part's everything else. It's the side effects of the medication. It's the general unknown of having epilepsy. You're sitting here thinking, well, I can have a seizure right now. I could have a seizure 2 minutes from now. I, might go to bed tonight and not wake up. Wow. You don't know. The scariest thing about life is not knowing.
Yeah.
Think about living in a constant state of not knowing.
It must inform every step you take if you're fearing that you might have a seizure at any moment.
You just live life. Yeah. Honestly, I grew up with some wonderful, wonderful parents who never held me back from doing anything. They were fantastic. I got to go to day camp when I was little. At 10 years old, they sent me off to overnight camp. Nice. Despite the fact that I had epilepsy. They were fantastic. They never held me back from anything I ever did, and that really had a set in stone about how I looked at life. Was I might have epilepsy, I might have seizures, but I can do whatever the heck I want.
Yeah. I
can do whatever I want in life, and the outcome of that is I have a bachelor's degree. I went to New Zealand twice.
Nice.
And that's kind of if you got, epilepsy, that's how you got to look at it. Yeah. Is you live in a constant state of unknown. I might have a seizure, but you know what? All right.
You're living life anyways.
Yeah, you can't let it stop you.
Yeah. You're doing a lot. You're advocating for more awareness, as you are today with us. You want to talk about a treatment that you're going through. So VNS, that's vagus nerve
stimulator. And basically what they do is they take a little generator, they implant it into the left side of your chest with leads going up to your left vagal nerve. Okay. And that sends electricity up to your brain. Really cool design. And it's been around for a long time. Doesn't really have as much publicity as you would think. When I was a kid, it was a bit of a roller coaster. My seizures got better, better, better. You hit puberty, and then it took that nosedive. Pretty typical. They got worse until I went to college, and I was having 12 a month. Wow. And finally we said we got to do something. We looked into the VNS, and my mom was a little worried because it is surgery. I insist it's the best day of my life, the day I had that surgery.
How did it change your symptoms and your just
I
day-to-day?
had an 80% reduction rate.
Wow.
I went from having 12 a month to one every 2 to 3 months. I'm back up to maybe about once a month, but usually that's due to stress. You know, everyone with seizures has triggers.
Yeah.
And I'll hit my triggers every once in a while just because of work or school or whatever, and home life, you know, general life.
Sure. It's hard.
Yeah. And so I might have one. But the cool thing about the VNS is you know your triggers.
Yeah.
And it gives you back that sense of control, because what it does is that you get a little magnet.
Okay.
Get this cool little magnet with you. I put tape on mine because
very cute dog tape.
I know. I'm always losing it. It's black. I always lose it in between the cushions. So you get this magnet, and if you feel a seizure coming on, which is called an aura, when you feel that seizure
kind of
coming
like a
on.
migraine aura. You can kind of visual disturbances? Okay.
Exactly the same. Seizures and migraines are actually very similar.
Okay.
Believe it or not. So if you have that aura, you can actually swipe this magnet over your VNS, and it will stop the seizure from coming.
Wow. It's like a defensive measure.
Or if you go into a big seizure like you see on TV, someone can take this, swipe it, and it will stop your seizure mid-seizure.
Wow, that's incredible.
So it really gives you back that sense of control in your life where I'm going to have a seizure. Let me just swipe my magnet and it stops.
Carry on.
Yeah, I've woken up in the middle of the night with an aura, and I'm like, it's woken me up. It's been uncomfortable. I just swipe it, goes away, and I go back to sleep.
That's incredible. So for people out there who either themselves or they have a loved one with epilepsy, would you recommend they talk to their doctor about potentially doing this?
Definitely talk to your doctor about whether or not that is an option for them.
Yeah.
Because like anything else, it's just another treatment form. It may or may not work. I know lots of people where it didn't work, but they need to talk to it over with their doctor.
Yeah. Well, so glad to hear it's working for you. It really seems like incredible. I know it's not brand new, but incredible technology.
Oh, it is. And the thing is, what's really cool with it is each device is getting newer and newer.
Yeah.
So it may not be new, but the newest generator is newer.
Sure.
It now has a heart rate monitor in it.
They're getting better and better.
Yeah, they're getting better and better. I don't have the newest one, but that's all right.
Well, thank you so much for coming by and telling us about it. And I'm so glad that you have this magnet in your pocket, just ready to go.
Yeah, it's ready to go. I don't always bring it around.
All right.
I usually, like I said, I forget it.
We appreciate you coming by and sharing what's working for you.
Yeah.
For everyone else. Susan Wagner, thanks so much for joining us tonight.